Welcome everyone and welcome back to The Coach Approach. Today we're going to be going over a Platinum Lulu game here, but before we start, I want to start giving a shout out to my Patreons. That's actually one of the perks of being a Patreon, but I actually haven't been doing it, so I'm going to be doing it. I might have a more extravagant way of saying it or showing it and stuff like that, but for now it's just what we have. So Slippery Slappers, Captain Reed, Axonology, Alana, Care Bear, ABC Troll, Tiny Panther, and Infinity. Thank you guys for the support on Patreon, allowing us to be able to actually have free VOD reviews and things like that. So if you guys see them in the Discord, be sure to say thank you because they're the reason why you guys are even able to get this type of stuff. If you guys would like to be part of my Patreon to not only help support things like this, or whatever else I do in my server, but also get some nice content along the way, make sure you gotta go over there, check it out, and just kind of browse, see what you got. I may be releasing some content from the Patreon for free, like as the time goes on, some videos just become free. Does that make sense? If that's something that you guys would like, make sure to let me know in the comments. But without further ado, let's get started here. So we're looking at a Platinum Lulu game. Let me go ahead and get my marker out here. Okay. All right, so first things first, what we want to do, we always want to analyze. Right, you guys are like smart. I knew you guys thought of it. So we want to get this out over here. And we want to analyze. So what we want to do is questions to ask. So the questions we want to ask ourselves are going to be what does my ADC want to do to win lane? Question number 2 is what does their ADC want to do to lane? And then the last question is how can I prevent the enemy laner, I'll just say ADC, sometimes it's laner depending on what lane you're in, but the ADC from doing what they want to do while also allowing my ADC to do what they want to do. So with that in mind, you want to ask yourselves these 3 questions. The first question is, well, Varus is really just kind of a poke. Try to get you out of lane if he can. Otherwise, farming is fine. And then Ashe is more of like, well, the same thing, kind of, really. And you want to ask yourself, well, how can I prevent the enemy AC from doing what they want to do while also doing what I want to do? Well, if we go here, we have 3 options. Keep it frozen, perma push it in, or keep it near our tower. Where would be the best spot to prevent that poke? It would be perma pushed into their tower. So as a support, you'd want to make sure that you're autoing the wave instead of just kind of sitting there not letting it happen. And honestly, this is something that a lot of supports have trouble with. But if you ever watch like a high elo game, you'll notice the support doing a lot more work than just kind of standing there waiting for stuff to happen. And when I say high elo game, I'm talking about like high grandmaster, high master and up. So that's something that you want to adopt in your play. If you know the lane should be pushed, help them push the wave. Even if they kind of complain and stuff like that, I will be uploading a game of me playing support. And I'm going to be putting that on my Patreon. So be on the look for that. It's going to be a commentary gameplay and just kind of going over the thought process and stuff like that with support. I'm going to be doing a lot more of those, not just for support, but for all the other roles. So if you have trouble kind of understanding what I mean by that, make sure you take a look. So anyway, as I said, we should be kind of doing more, helping them push the lane, because now we're zoned off and we can't really do anything. So what do you do in a position like this? Well, you have 2 options. A, you can go roam if you need to, but there's really nothing up, right? Like he's way over here, not really doing much. He's up there, not really doing much. You can't really do anything. Best bet is to just kind of sit, chill out. And then just kind of wait for your opportunity to go roam, because you're not really going to be able to do anything in this lane until you guys actually recall. But you also want to remain healthy and with some nice mana, because if you don't have any and you have to rotate to go help, then you're probably going to have that team fight die. So we'll write this down. When you're in a lane you feel like you can't really do anything in, save resources and look for roams. So right now you see Fizz and you see Volibear, right? So that'd be a really good opportunity to go ahead and move, but you have no HP or no mana. So if something breaks off, you can't do anything, so you're forced to back. Now let's see what happens in the next couple of seconds. Okay, so he goes for a gank. And then he shows up. So imagine if you were here. Right? And imagine if you were like a part of this play. And that's kind of why you have to pay attention. When you really feel like you can't do anything in your lane, you've got to make sure that you can try to do stuff elsewhere. You know what I mean? You don't want to just be kind of tied down to the AD carry, even if it is a duo. Remember, what comes first is what the right play is, not what your pre-made does. Ooh, that was a good counter game. That was a really good counter game. I'm not going to write this down, but when you're shoved up, you should be warding around here. But that was a good counter game. See kind of how there's a ward here? Is this yours or is this his? Does it not show? Oh, yeah, it does. So that's Varus's ward. So you see how you put a ward here? This doesn't really matter to us because the ganks are going to be coming from these bushes. So, you know, there's really no reason to put a ward in a bush right here if... I mean, you're not even going to be close to that bush anyway. You know what I mean? Don't really have to leave because he's going to get dove. I'm pretty sure. If he doesn't, then that's fucking lucky. But you don't want to end up leaving. You want to wait for him because he can get dove. Oh, Fiddlesticks was even there. Oh, wait, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Yeah. He was there. So that dive could have happened. If he was just a little bit faster with his clears and actually ended up on the right side at the right time. And you will have that. So what you really want to do to make sure, kind of in the same position again, you know, you're not really around when stuff happens. So what you want to do is really only look to back if you have to. Otherwise, ping the ADC to back and you go together. You weren't really, you were low, but you weren't like in killing range, especially with an Ashe and a Veigar. I mean, not a Veigar, a Vel'Koz. So when you're going to get something like a Leona and like a Caitlyn or something, you know, something that can like go under tower, get you, blow you up, like that's where you want to back off of like that type of HP. But there's really no way you die unless you get caught. And that's not really fair to say, well, I don't want to do the right thing because I'm afraid to get caught, right? You should be able to play properly, which means that you should be dodging these skill shots. The only realistic way that you die is if you got knocked up by Vel'Koz under the tower. We would just wait for IDC to back, and then we would back with him so no dives would happen. And I know a lot of this stuff is hypothetical, but that's because a lot of this stuff doesn't get abused in the CELO. Little quick tip, not gonna write this down, but you standing there allows skill shots to hit you about 90% of the time. Stand over here or stand behind, because you're not dodging skill shots in that vicinity, which is probably why you always get hit a lot, because you're always standing there. Good idea to back up. Just do it a lot quicker. Like you could tell this tower was going to go down before it went down. Like right here, the next wave, this is gone. But run back right now. It's over. But you see kind of how you're kind of hovering around it when you already know this could happen. This is one of those times where the jungler could just be sitting right here and then come get you. Matter of fact, he was over here. Was he? I think he was just valuing the... I can't even see anything. I'm turning the slide on real quick. I think he was just valuing the buff over like actually getting 2 kills and then lead into the buff. Exactly. Imagine if he didn't value this buff right now. You guys would have been dead. But this guy wants to clear. And in higher elos, you don't get junglers like this. Okay, the jungler is going to go for the kill double, especially, and the tower, over the fucking a buff and a Grom any day of the week. So, especially because this guy's making something happen up top. This is free. There's no way in hell he dies. There's no way in hell this play goes bad. He's just being stingy. Because all he has to do is come over here and just do his little fear stuff under here. So, be very, very cautious. Because that is a dive setup. And you should be able to kind of realize and recognize, especially because you're platinum, what a dive setup actually looks like. There's a lot of information you need to get to diamond from platinum. Some people can kind of like glide to platinum. Some people can kind of glide to gold. But no player is really ever... I guess that's a lie. There are some players that glide to diamond 4. But it's only really if you duo and if someone just carries you. I guess support is kind of the role to do it. I'm not saying support players get carried all the time. I'm just saying like if you want to be kind of carried the most, the odds are like support is the role because you don't really have to do much in terms of getting a lead. Good supports do, obviously, but if someone's just kind of looking to get carried most of their games playing support, would be it. But with that being said, you probably demote real quick because you're not going to be able to do anything, and you're just going to lose all your games. And so that climb from platinum to diamond takes a lot more energy, takes a lot more work, takes a lot more understanding of the game. Whereas a glide from gold to platinum, you can kind of just get there just playing a lot, if that makes sense. So yeah, understanding stuff like that should kind of be on your mind right now. It's like, okay, there's a dive setup happening. Okay, I should be backing with my ADC. Like, these are just kind of trivial things that your elo should know already. And even if you do know, like, it's gonna happen, or you do know that type of stuff, it doesn't really mean much if you're not applying it, and if you're not like actually using the information. You know, if you're just like, oh, I know that was gonna happen. Oh, I already knew. Oh yeah, no, because I already know how to do that. Well, that doesn't really do anything if you're not actually showing it in your game. You know what I mean? So make sure you are applying that, even if you do know. Okay. Because yeah, as I said, oh, this guy's 5-0. Good lord. As I said, you could have got taken advantage here. You guys could have taken. Varus could have got dove. The second time, you guys both could have got dove. Like, there's so many mistakes that they just didn't take advantage of, which is why these games kind of are teeter-tottery, just because nobody knows how to take advantage of that type of stuff. So you want to clean that up ASAP, especially if you want to hit diamond. But I know that. I think that you're not really pushing for diamond, though. I think you're just chilling right now. But when you do happen to do that stuff, make sure you remember that type of thing, or those type of things. Okay, Lucian's bot. This means a free fight. Yep. Did you not have anything up? Wait a second. Were you just running away? Nah, you had to have like everything on cooldown. There's no way you just kind of ran away. Okay, it's on cooldown, it's on cooldown. Use it. Yeah, right here. You're not using it. That's funny. You're like, I'm gonna die, but I'll shield you before I do. Well, but you kind of see what I mean. You kind of see how you're just kind of skating past this game. That's what support does. There's a lot of games where you can just kind of skate by, even though you're not doing anything. But like I said, eventually that shit stops, and you need to actually be really, really active. And that's why a lot of supports that smurf really have some really good fucking win rates. And you'd be surprised seeing like a 80% support main getting themselves to like diamond or master and stuff like that. It's because like when you play, support's fucking good. Like, support is like one of the best roles to carry with, without a doubt. You just have to be extremely smart, obviously. Like, it's not really about the damage, just about how you play the game in general. So when you play, you got to kind of be a little bit more active. You got to think about, well, okay, specifically, what can I be doing right now? Instead of just, like, if you actually, like, look at your own replays, you'll probably notice a lot of the spots where you just kind of, like, stop, or where you just kind of, like, hover around an area, or you don't really do anything. Like this one right here, like I said, like, this is one of them. We've seen them before, but let's just kind of count. We'll just fast forward and just kind of count how many times you're just kind of doing nothing, and you're just chilling. Okay, right now, right? We're just kind of hanging with the ADC. Nice. And you just kind of get into those moments where it's like, I don't really know what to do. I don't really know what the game plan is. I guess I'll just kind of support you guys. Oh shit, the shit goes wrong. Well, I guess we just all die, you know? You don't want to be in that position. You want to be active. You want to be using those pings. You want to be basically telling everybody exactly how to play, what to do, where to go, all that extra good stuff. And I know we talked about that before, but as I said, as you go into diamond, it's very, very important, because a lot of players don't really understand how to play the game still. A lot of players just do random stuff. Even right now, we know that they're here. You're with Varus. We know that they're around this area, and you're really hovering this Varus instead of pinging this guy back. Volibear has to do it for you. He's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And so he pings him back. That should be your job, you know? You're kind of watching this guy just be stupid. And then it's like, I guess I'll just be stupid too. I'm not calling you stupid, but the play was. So you're like, okay, I guess I did. Imagine if they were just all right here chilling as 5. You just get clapped and we lose drag. And you just kind of support this behavior. And then it's like, okay, uh-oh. And that's the problem. You gotta really... I mean, well, there it goes. Well, there it goes. That's what I was talking about was gonna happen. And it could have been avoidable if you thought, like, oh, shit, you know, that could probably happen. Back up, be careful. Let's wait till everybody gets here. Let's wait for Tryndamere to stall and get pushing. You know, little stuff like that can definitely help win you a game, but also cost you the game. Like, if this guy wasn't doing this, you guys would have lost this game hands down. And there's a lot of games like that that every support player has where it's like, well, I didn't really do anything, but I win. And other roles have it too, but supports just kind of have it more, you know? As I said, I'm not saying, you know, supports don't do shit, but you guys can win doing a little, doing kind of nothing sometimes just because everybody else gets a lead. I think it's the... Oops, did not mean to go down there. So let's just kind of see, personally, how many pings you ping this game. You pinged to Flash. You pinged Dragon. So you pinged two times within the past almost 10 minutes. 2 pings in almost 10 minutes and you're a platinum player. That right there is very, very hard to... It's like you don't really see the deficit of like not pinging, right? Like you can play a game kind of like this one, right? You play the game, you end up winning. You don't really feel the fact that you're not actually like engaging on what to do. Obviously, if you're typing, it's a different story, but we shouldn't really be typing anyway. But yeah, you don't really feel it, right? You can feel a bad Baron call. If you have a Baron call and you lose the game off of it, oh, that was bad, I probably shouldn't have called it. But you don't really feel like bad pings. You don't really feel the fact that I'm not really engaging with pings, so my teammates are doing really bad things. You don't really feel it like that. And that's why that's just kind of something that's one of many things that are important to get down pat, which is why I have a lot of hypotheticals. Because a lot of the stuff that you guys experience, it's not really in your face saying, hey, this is probably something you should be doing or shouldn't be doing. It's very minuscule of an impact that it has when you're not doing it. But when you start doing it, the impact is major. So that's why it's kind of hard sometimes to talk about things like that, because you might not really see it. You might not really feel it until you actually actively start doing it. But that's what I'm here for. You know, I'm here to kind of help you guys out. I'm here to help you see things you're just not seeing. And pinging only 2 times as a platinum player is very... It's poor etiquette especially as a support, because you're not really doing anything. You should be... Like, the only thing you really do is clear the wards and put place wards, right? You have a lot of downtime. You're not farming. You're not like clearing the camps. You're not looking for buffs. You have a lot of time to ping people, to tell them what to do, to tell them where to go, to tell them watch out. Hey, be careful. Like, you should be watching the map. Like, all this you have time for, and it's showing that you're not really doing it, you know? So I'll write this. Try to be more engaged with the game. Like, I firmly believe that if you didn't play support, like if you played support like 10 games in a row, and then you didn't play support for the next 10 games in a row, your win rate would be substantially different because of the skate by effect. So keep that in mind that I'm telling you that. Like, it's very crucial you fix this like ASAP, especially if you want to keep that platinum next year, and you want to get diamond next year. Okay? I'm not saying you're a bad player. I'm not saying you suck. But I am saying that we're not engaging enough to actually carry our games. It's just kind of like, I guess we just win or I guess we just lose. You really got to get out of that when you're playing the support. Why are you being toxic with FF? What's wrong with you? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope this sheds some light on your play here. And I expect great things once you do, end up cleaning that type of stuff up. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys want free VODs, make sure you join my Discord. Every weekend, I will be opening up that free VOD room. All you do is post your op.gg, and I will get to your VOD review. If you guys would like coaching, if you guys like free coaching every week or every month, I'm still not sure yet. Make sure we reach 200 subscribers, and we'll go ahead and have those free one-on-one coachings. All right, guys? Have a good rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this. And thank you guys for approaching this like a coach.